Hello, and thank you for joining today's webinar on meals and dining on board Amtrak with Amtrak Vacations. I'll be your host today, Michaela Garrett, and today we'll be covering everything that you need to know about meals and dining on board Amtrak. To get started, let's take a quick overview of where you can travel to via Amtrak. So with Amtrak Vacations, you can see on the map here our network map of all of our train routes. All of the red lines are going to be representing our train lines, and all of the green lines are going to be representing buses. So everywhere you see a red line is somewhere that you can travel on board with Amtrak Vacations. If you draw a line vertically through Chicago, anything out towards California is going to be one of our Viewliner trains that has our traditional dining service. And pretty much everything then towards the East Coast is going to be on a Viewliner train, which will have our flexible dining service. But I'll be explaining a little bit more about what flexible and traditional dining is further on in today's webinar. So, dining options. Of course, we have traditional dining, flexible dining, and our cafe car. Just depending on what accommodations you're in, is going to decide on which options you have as far as dining goes. So, to kick things off, let's talk a little bit about how you can upgrade on board Amtrak Vacations. So, on board Amtrak Vacations, you can upgrade to a private sleeper car, which will give you access to traditional dining services. So that gives you complimentary breakfast, lunch, and dinner in Amtrak's dining car. And again, that's included when you upgrade to a sleeping car. On our long distance traditional dining trains, which again, think about it when you draw that line through Chicago, that's anything towards California. That's going to be considered our long distance traditional dining cars that are on board the trains. So that'll be our California Zephyr train, the Coast Starlight, Empire Builder, Southwest Chief, Sunset Limited, and Texas Eagle. So what is included with long distance traditional dining? Chef prepared meals for breakfast, lunch, and a 3-course dinner. So an array of appetizers will be served with dinner, and the first alcoholic drink is on us. Table service in the dining car has glassware, cutlery, and white linen tablecloths. Traditional dining service also includes complimentary room service. Some sample dishes here for you all, just to give you a taste of what kind of food is going to be offered on board the Amtrak Vacations itineraries. We have our oven roasted Atlantic salmon, cooked to perfection, rigatoni bolognese, which is a fan favorite, and the white chocolate blueberry cobbler cheesecake, which is a must try. If you're doing a longer trip with us, you'll have plenty of opportunity to give this dessert a try. That's the best thing about traveling on board with Amtrak Vacations is all meals are included when you upgrade to a sleeper car. We also have dining options delivered to your private sleeper. So you might want to enjoy dinner in the comfort of your own room, maybe enjoying the sunset, taking in maybe some tea or an adult beverage, and you might want to enjoy that meal maybe with your significant other or family in the comfort of your own room. That's also an option with us. So we do have dining options that can be delivered to your private sleeper car when upgrading to a sleeper. Some examples of some of the meals served on board the auto train. The auto train runs from Lorton, Virginia to Sanford, Florida. Again, it's a great service. You can load your car on board, and then you can upgrade to a sleeping car on board this train. You do board in the afternoon, so once on board the train, you have a dinner that's served. You can see here on the slide, there is a little sample menu. Again, that just pretty much has our filet, the pan-roasted chicken, Atlantic salmon, bolognese, a children's menu. And then, of course, in the morning, you have that complimentary breakfast as well, which you can see that sample menu here. So those are the meals that are included on the auto train service. And then, of course, we have our cafe service. So we do have cafe cars on many of our trains. Most Amtrak routes do offer this service with a variety of meals, snacks, and beverages for sale. Customers in all classes of service are invited to the cafe car to enjoy the snacks and things that they have. I've traveled on the train multiple times, and I've always taken advantage of the cafe car, even if I was in a sleeper car. It was just fun to head down there while enjoying the scenery on the train and grabbing a quick snack. And they have beverages. They have a really wide variety of snacks that you can get in the cafe car. There is an example menu here on the slide as well. But some perks of a private room. So when upgrading to a private room, you'll be entitled to a range of amenities and extras. So complimentary meals, of course, which we just covered, lounge access, and a first class room attendant who is going to be making reservations for your meals and preparing your room at night for you when you're ready to go to sleep. You also have access to the Metropolitan Lounge at select stations. Insider tip: anything called a Union Station. So if Union Station is in the name of the station, it will have a Metropolitan Lounge. That's a quick way to know. But when you upgrade to a sleeper, you have access to the Metropolitan Lounge, and with that comes priority separate boarding. So you'll board the train separately, be taken to your room, given a rundown, have your meals taken as far as like what times you're going to want to dine that evening. That'll all take place at that time. You also have dedicated car attendant, plus included toiletries, bottled water, and coffee. Also, of course, in your room, you will have a privacy door that does lock from the inside, and you have a privacy screen as well. But of course, the window looking out at the beautiful scenery, I recommend keeping that window open. At night, if you want to close it, if you want to get some rest in the morning, that's totally fine. But I kept mine open the whole time so I could see the sunset and the sunrise from the comfort of my own room. But once again, included toiletries, bottled water, coffee. You can kind of see here how this room is set up. But when booking with Amtrak Vacations, there's no lines, no hassle, no stress. Simply board the train at one of our 500 plus Amtrak stations across the country. You have the rail expert knowledge with us, so no trip is too complicated for us. We know rail from the best routes to the best times to the best vacations. So you can depart today with us or as far as 2 years in advance. We truly have you covered. So let's go over a few vacations that feature some sleeper trains. Starting off with the Route 66 by rail, you can see this is a 14-day itinerary. It includes a few overnights on board the train. I believe 2 you can see on the map where it has these circles with the numbers in it. That's representing overnight spent in a city. And then the red arrows with the number are representing train journeys. And if it has a number in the arrow, that's representing an overnight you'd be spending on board the train. So you can see this trip has 2 nights in Chicago, 2 nights in St. Louis, a beautiful overnight on board the train with spectacular scenery, 2 nights in Albuquerque, a visit to the Grand Canyon, and then heading down to LA. So a really great journey that will include a great variety of hotels, sightseeing, and some overnight sleeper journeys on board the train. We also have our Grand Rail experience, which this is probably one of the most scenic train routes that you can do because it hits so many of our popular train journeys. Again, what's included with this one, you can see many different hotel nights, a couple different overnights on the train. This is hitting some of the most popular routes on this journey. So this trip starts in Washington, D.C. With an overnight over to Chicago on the train. And then you take the Empire Builder train all the way over to Seattle, beautiful scenery, heading down then to LA on the Coast Starlight, over to New Orleans, back up to Washington, D.C. The best thing, again, about this journey is that it's a very good comprehensive journey of the United States, having a really good mix of hotel nights, sightseeing, and those overnight train journeys, giving you a variety. But the best thing about us is everything is customizable. So you can customize any of these trips that we're showing you here today. Another good option is the Grand National Parks of the Southwest, Bryce and Zion to the Grand Canyon. So this would be a great option for any of our Grand Canyon lovers or any of our national park lovers. So you can see this one hits quite a few national parks. So you get that national park experience, but you can also get to experience that overnight on board the train. And then we have the Niagara Falls, New York Getaway round trip from Chicago, which is another great option. This one's a little bit of a shorter option, maybe would be a good first time journey. But again, all of our options are customizable. Wherever the train goes, we can take you to. So just to wrap things up, folks, why Amtrak Vacations? The choice is yours. We're a one-stop shop. We have trains, hotels, sightseeing, and more. Our flexible booking window, so you can plan your trip out to 2 years in advance. We are the train travel experts. We have a wide range of hotel selections from 3, 4 to 5 star. We have an extensive vacation collection, and you can start from any Amtrak station. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. If you do have any questions at all, please feel free to give us a call and speak to one of our rail experts at 1-800-268-7252 or check out our website, amtrakvacations.com. Thank you so much for joining today, and take care, everyone. Bye-bye.